Bros play!
So you were just talking about tickling your funny bone. What tickles your funny bone, brother?
Mine?
Yeah.
Anything unexpected. What? You use a good term for that. Not misdirection, but no, maybe misdirection is the term.
Exactly
yeah,
what
actually.
I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I think you're going to shoot one direction and you go the other, that's usually where you're going to get the greatest laugh out of me. Whether it's a person talking or a movie, to me that's like the funniest stuff. Is subverting expectations.
Ah, yeah.
That's another one. I really wish you could jump on the walls. It's like really annoying.
Yeah.
But what you can do is chain shot to those heads.
Oh! Oh! Goal! He's blocking with that. He blocks things with that.
Oh, I thought he was attacking. I've also never appreciated in any video game that if I touch my enemy, I am harmed.
Yes.
Well, what about the fact that my enemy needs to use a weapon to harm me? Why do I get harmed if my leg touches his leg? Doesn't make any sense.
It's just an old gaming thing. I mean, what the fuck was that? He just went the opposite way. Whoa.
He just went opposite, man. I went up, he went down. I don't know what to tell you.
Devils, it's frustrating.
Always
like,
frustrating.
what is that? I fucking hit that, bro.
Well, I don't think you can hit them below.
No, I can't. What's up with that? Ah!
I love how frustration turns everyone into Jerry Seinfeld eventually.
What does it turn Jerry Seinfeld into, though?
Oh, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to see what happens. Jerry Seinfeld rarely gets frustrated.
He stopped coming to college campuses. That's when I knew comedy was dead.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's when you knew college was dead. Comedy is alive and well. It just doesn't exist in that form.
College is where it's the young minds.
Right.
It
is the young minds.
They represent the future of humanity.
Humanity. It's the future of humanity.
Get out of my way! I'm making comedy for the future, my.
I feel like that's what this devil's voice would be like.
Like
bring
Irish?
me your swords.
Like one of us.
Bring me your devils.
One of us is doing a different accent than the other guy is. Fuck you.
But
fuck you.
That's okay. That's just a product of us not being good.
Super not cool at all.
I was watching.
That was supposed to be so much better.
And it wasn't.
Which is like, the point.
I was watching Dragon's Den, the UK version, and someone was presenting a game that was basically just you read out phrases, but you have to do it in an accent, and everyone tries to guess your accent. And this one guy said, you know what would be awesome is if you added a second layer where you both have to speak in a different language and a different accent. And I'm immediately thinking, well, that's stupid. No one can do that. Then this guy starts doing all these different British accents in Russian.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the dragons sitting around him are just like blown away, and yet that guy didn't give him an offer. Yeah, it was very bizarre, but it just goes to show some people are just super talented. Like, have you seen those people who write languages for TV and movies and things like that?
Like on the street? No, I wouldn't recognize them.
See that guy over there? That guy's a linguist.
Oh, it's a new thing.
Oh my god, phase 2 is the flaming whirligig.
Oh, it's following me. What the fuck?
I don't even know how you would avoid that. That was so chaotic.
That thing was like the thing from Wild Wild West.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Gordon.
The magnets should last for about 20 to 30 years. But no, I mean the people who make like the Dothraki language. Or
That's exactly what I thought when you said that.
Yeah, their command of language is so unbelievable. The ability to create sounds with their mouth and understand where they actually have to move their tongue and lips to make those noises. It's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's even crazier is that most people can learn that just from talking for their whole life. Right? Like
what's amazing is some people still don't know how to use the language that they speak naturally. Like
that is probably the more impressive or amazing part, yes.
Yeah. Just how uninterested you can be as a human being in other humans. It's so much to cut. Ah!
Why is it hard?
Like I watched, the last time we had a controller in Dad's hands, and I watched as as jumping and moving at the same time was a challenging experience for someone who doesn't play very often.
Right.
And that's what I feel right now. That people are watching me going like, do you require aid, sir?
I don't... Like, now that we've figured out there's a second phase to this and you managed to make it to that kind of changes my perspective. But originally, this seemed like borderline impossible.
It's because I'm going face first into every single moment that I'm not waiting to avoid his attacks.
That is true. You're trying to muscle your way through this one. And believe it or not, this part's working pretty well. You're totally going to lose your thumb trying to do this.
Sorry for throwing you under the bus there, Dad.
Well, that's okay.
You know what? He cleared a level of Mario 3D World, so I think if he retires now, then he's at the apex of his game. So
not bad. I remember when we had him playing Assassin's Creed.
Oh boy.
Assassin's Creed 2, yeah. And so someone was just sitting next to him, pushing the health kit button because we had like 15 health kits or whatever. So he was just getting his ass beat, but then someone was sitting next to him going, heal, 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 heal.
That's funny.
And I remember, after the longest time of just getting beat up, somehow he managed to get a hidden blade counter. And
wow.
Everyone in the room just went nuts like we'd won the Super Bowl. It was like, yes, he did it. He killed the guy.
This is ridiculous. I don't
not understand the flame thing. I think what you should probably do is pick the very center of the room and just go between those two heads.
I'm forgetting that I can jump after I attack.
Right, okay, and that makes sense. It's weird. Most games, once you attack, you fall.
Yes.
This game is the opposite. You get to jump again.
Yeah.
But also, just stay back from him. Yeah, I guess he does actually telegraph.
He does, yeah.
But
I was just getting mad about stuff.
I'm just angry! You can't really tell what he's gonna do, though.
No. That's the fun.
That's why we play.
But he gets so tired. He's like, oof. That was exhausting.
That I don't like, that he just changes his direction.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he should aim where he's going.
Yeah, it'd be easier to hit me, too.
I always wonder, when they create these boss fights, this is so stressful. I can't even talk.
You can't talk. Fuck.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't understand. I said something about creating something, and then I lost it. Oh, boss fights. When they create these, do they let random people play to see if they can beat it without knowing how? Because it's easy to play it yourself as a developer.
I think in the beginning... No. No! No!
Chain shot.
I don't think that works, brother.
You don't think you can chain shot the heads?
Nope. Oh, yeah.
Yep, certainly. Certainly, absolutely.
Oh, this thing again.
What are you even... don't jump too much.
Stop.
Don't jump too much. That's the
Stop.
problem.
Oh.
Try to avoid it primarily by walking.
It's so scary.
It was pretty scary. It is a fiery whirligig after all.
It's just the way that it follows you and it's... Ah!
This is chaotic.
238 deaths.
Most of those have been this episode.
Ah ha ha!
You're so hilarious.
It's funny because it's a lot of time wasted.
One term I will never condone is hilaire. If you try to use the term hilaire, we're not friends.
I generally don't care for shortening words. The kids nowadays say that something is sus, which is short for suspect.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I really like, though, is peen.
I've not heard that
Yeah.
one. Wow. I have definitely not heard that one. Sus is weird because there's actually a term to suss something out. That's a real...
Let me suss this out.
Yeah, that's a real terminology. So that's
Suss it
just...
out for you.
And what was the other one I saw? I heard another one.
You did not touch me. That was sus.
That was very sus.
It was very sus.
I heard one the other day, and I forget what it was. I heard a short form of a term that just made me cringe. And I even remember saying the expression that's just not a big deal, just the death of our language.
NVD.
What?
NVD, no big deal. NBD, just the death of our language.
Oh my god, NBD.
I wish that hitting him in the air would do something cool, like ninja style.
Like where you don't get hurt?
Instead, every time I get hurt. It's really frustrating,
yeah.
so I'm just going to reset that.
Hey, vey. I don't like an enemy where you're supposed to attack him once at a time for the whole fight, except for moments where he's just gonna stand there and let you wail on him. Like, that's just not right. It's just wrong.
That's wrong.
I'm remembering the old days of equals 3.
Yeah, which is essentially just testicles.
What?
That's what equals 3 is.
Oh, is that what that was supposed to be? I thought it was supposed to be a smiley face.
No, he's drawing up balls.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he also had a song called Tickle Betties and Doing Your Mom.
Ray William Johnson did?
Yeah, you can't forget Doing Your Mom. And there was actually the much less known motherfucking
Chain Shots.
I will chain shot your mouth closed.
That's right, he did some music too.
He also did fell in love with a girl at the Apple store.
Oh, maybe I did hear that.
I fell in love at the Apple store.
Wow, I do remember this.
Which he performed in an
Apple
Apple store with just people behind him going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Which is pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that's gutsy. That's really gutsy.
Yeah.
Well, not as gutsy as, like... Sorry. That was real gutsiness. Not like the people these days that are like, oh, and here's a prank video where I just, like, pick up this woman and walk away with her. And it's like, you clearly paid that woman. She would be attacking you otherwise.
There's an Auntie Donna scene in their Netflix special. I'm just gonna fucking die.
Yes, you are. That's what you were born to do.
Where there's these moments where the characters are interacting with other people, and then it just starts flashing on screen. Paid actors. Paid actors. Oh fuck.
Wow, yeah, it just things these days have really moved in a direction where people realize that, yeah, that was kind of bullshit. People realize that authenticity sells, and so people are trying to fake authenticity, as hilarious as that sounds on its face.
Dude. There's a YouTube channel called The Ace Family, and they do family-related reality TV stuff, and it's all horseshit. And there was this episode where they got broken into, and I have no idea if they really got broken into or not. And that's the problem with creating that veil, is that it's the he was flashing too. I almost had it.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's the boy who cried wolf is not a story about the problem with lying. It's a story about reputation, because the townsfolk show up to help him after the first time that they know he cried wolf, right? They still show up the second time. It's the third time that they choose not to show up, because at that point he had established a pattern, a reputation of lying.
Such a great story. Is that a biblical story, or is that just like an old story like Robin Hood that's just ancient?
I actually made it up.
Yeah, you wrote it in early on in the aughts?
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always wondered about that, because like, it's an old story, but I don't know if it's got like any sort of a root.
They all do. I just found it
root
recently,
somewhere.
you know the story about Midas?
Yeah.
He wished that everything he touched turned to gold.
And then he golded up his daughter.
Yeah, that part was not in the original story.
Oh, really?
That was added in like the 18th century or something.
Oh man, they were messed up in the 18th century.
So the person actually made that story seriously good, because before it was just that he slowly starved to death because he couldn't eat anything because it all turned to gold.
And there's a lot more of an emotional impact, you're right, when he actually destroys his daughter in the process.
Well, I mean, he does immortalize her in gold.
And, you know, some people would say that that's enough.
And then somebody bought that.
Can you, yeah.
Gold for $10 million.
Can you imagine that? Like, oh, and where did you get this statue from? Well, there was this king of Europe somewhere, and he made a deal with a witch, and so everything he touched turned to gold, and this is his actual daughter.
Oh, yeah, this is my kin.
Oh, yeah. The other thing I thought about with that story was it just his hands, or was it any part of him?
Well, I think the thing about the food is that
As soon as it touched his lips.
yeah,
Yeah.
so his whole body, everything he touched.
Yeah, and that's why you got to be very careful if you're gonna do a wish. You want to make sure it's written like a legal document.
That was the same joke I heard the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, apparently I'm not that original.
Well, there's just certain things that people are gonna say. Like it's just a natural reaction.
Yeah, what they call that? There's the term for that. It's like
It's like calling being a normal fucking asshole.
I think they call it convergence or something.
Oh, okay.
No, not convergence.
Simultaneous conception.
Yeah, that's actually I think exactly what they call it.
Yeah, and that totally happens. Like when Amy Schumer was being called out for stealing jokes, which she totally, definitely, allegedly did. Simultaneous conception was one of the options, which I totally believe in. But like in certain cases, like there's just jokes that they write themselves, so it would be easy for more than one person to do it. But when you're a professional and you've been in the industry for a long time, it's a pretty good idea to go and search that up.
Especially when you're talking about sketches rather than jokes.
Yeah.
Right, it's one thing to say, oh, it would be funny if X, right? I honestly forget the joke that I just made that compared to somebody else's, like a legal document. That's just a string of words, but when you're thinking, oh, I want to put together this routine, I want to make a story, yeah, I think it makes sense. But also, it becomes weird. What happens if you find out the story's out there? Do you just choose not to do it altogether, or do you try to put your own spin on it but still do the story?
Just own spin on it. Was that a fucking cheeky joke? That's very funny.
It ended up being.
I don't know. I think the sketch that she had where she had to tell she gets helped by a black person, and then they're like, oh, who helped you? And she's like, oh, well, they had a collared shirt, and then they're all wearing collared shirts. Like that. The Key and Peele also did that, but that one's pretty it seems like a pretty obvious sketch.
Well, that's also old as time itself. Like
Right.
the joke of like, oh, well, he's got long hair.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that just makes you a hack. Doesn't really make you a thief.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then there's also moments like, yeah. No, anyway,
Let's just not go there. Let's just not talk about her.
I was about to talk shit about YouTubers, but
No. Amy Schumer is good enough.
no, she's not though. That's the problem.
Amy. The movie.
Hey.
The movie Trainwreck was really funny to me because I did not find that Amy Schumer was funny, but I found that a lot of other people in it, including non-comedians, were really funny. So to me, it was just so weird to see a movie called Trainwreck that was an absolute train wreck. And I don't think there was irony in it for her. I don't think she was making some sort of self-aware joke. I think it was just a bad movie. I'm assuming you haven't seen it?
No,
Oh man, John Cena's character is so beautiful in it.
I haven't seen John Cena in a movie since 10 rounds or 22
12
rounds.
rounds.
12 rounds?
12 rounds.
Or 22 something?
22 Marines.
22 gun.
We actually, there was a, what was it called? Yeah, there was a challenge at our school called 21 Gun Salute.
Oh, jeez.
And you have to, so there was two cafeterias and they were about 1 kilometer apart. So you would have to go to one cafeteria, and there was a grand total of 21 different things that you could drink between all the different pops, water, milk, juices, all those things. So you had to drink 21 glasses of various drinks and then run the kilometer to get to the other cafeteria within an hour.
Why is anyone surprised that kids get hurt in college?
Why is anybody surprised that kids come up with games like that when you leave them alone?
Oh, kids did that. I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is not endorsed by the school in any way. This is very much part of the engineering faculty and just like their way of having fun.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. Fuck!
We I think we just need to hunker down, and I'm just gonna.
You want to just sit there silently?
No, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna commentate.
Oh, what if? Did you want to just do like the? I probably shouldn't take that joke from you if you plan on doing that.
Apparently,
I am so impressed with how off that was.
Yeah, no, there's no tone.
There's.
So obviously you've heard that Alex Trebek passed away.
No.
No?
Trebek.
Yeah, so unfortunately he passed away, and the guy that's gonna replace him, at least temporarily, you know that like
Is Oscar Isaac?
No, but you know that one you know the one Jeopardy winner who was the winner for like the longest time, and he's got a lot of like really classic Jeopardy jokes. Like this one time he was like, "This long-handled garden tool is also known as an immoral pleasure seeker. What is a hoe?" No? Teach you that at your Harvard school? We're looking for what is a rake.
I think Harvard school.
So the guy who said that, he was like one of the greatest winners of all time. He was like undefeated for years and years and years on Jeopardy. So he's gonna be the new host temporarily. And
That's
I thought,
pretty cool.
yeah, I thought that was really neat. Rather than just picking, James Corden or some other shitty celebrity to just fill in the gaps. I'm sorry, James. You're not the worst, but you're just terrible.
Don't be sorry.
But I am sorry, James. I shouldn't have belittled you like that. I should have done it to your face on Twitter like everybody else.
Yeah. That's one of the best.
To your face.
That's one of my best, my favorite moments in Letterkenny. He keeps talking about this dude, and then the word gets to him before he gets to say it to him. He's like, "I heard you were talking shit," and he's like, "You know what? You're right. Bad gas travels fast in a small town, and I should have said it to your face. So here I will."
And then he tells him.
I'm pretty sure he punches him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Wayne's the toughest man in Letterkenny. That's like the first episode that establishes that.
That's extreme.
And so he just punches this guy to the floor, stands on him, and then says, "You shouldn't scare girls." Because that's what the whole episode's about, is like his sister was walking across the street and this guy honked at her and scared her.
Oh, I see. I've actually always had a similar perspective, minus the attacking people, but I'm very willing to, like, if I'm going to say, yeah, I think this person really screwed this thing up. If that person walked around the corner, I'd be like, yeah, man, sorry, but you screwed this thing up. Like, I don't... It is extremely rare for me to say something about someone behind their back that I wouldn't actually say to their face. And usually if I wouldn't say it to their face, it's because it's more so a joke. It's like, oh, well, that guy's full of shit. Maybe he's not completely full of shit, but he does embellish a little.
Fucking guy. This guy's full of shit.
This guy is full of shit. He's full of devil shit and fire. He's got a burning whirligig inside of him that needs to come out. And now you're just mashing buttons.
Oh, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
Dynamite.
Okay. We'll see you guys later.
Next time, the devil comes back. You want to move the other game?
Yeah.
You want to practice this in your off time?